Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam. Quick hit. Dopapod's Chuck Jones on the Building a Time Machine board game.
nice. Now, the last album, let's dive into that a little bit
Sure, yeah.
and how you made that into the whole thing. Do you want to talk a little bit about how that happened? Explain to everyone exactly. I mentioned game.
Yeah, so it's kind of a few different parts. One of the main people behind the idea and absolutely the artwork and just the development of this was our old lighting designer Luke Stratton. He was with us from 2010 until the end of 2021. So he'd been there from the beginning until he moved on. But his other passion in life was Dungeons and Dragons, and then during the pandemic, he got really into drawing on his computer, which sort of worked into him designing maps for people to use when playing Dungeons and Dragons online. Like normally it's an idea of theater of the mind, you're playing in person. It's
Right.
developed a little bit more, so people have made little
I
physical.
used to do it on graph paper with a pen.
Exactly. That's kind of how it started, but it's developed now into more of like a lot of people use like physical things to represent their characters and do maps and everything. And as the online world developed, and especially during COVID, a lot of people were doing it on there. So he developed a lot of maps for that. And at some point, I don't remember who brought it up, but the idea of turning the album into a board game came up. And luckily, we had someone who knew a lot about games and also could design a game by making that happen and also actually doing the artwork. So Luke we couldn't have done it without Luke. From there, Neil put a lot of work into the development of the game too, and then a lot of the artwork was sort of discussed between Neil, Eli, and Luke. Rob and I kind of stayed out of the development of it. Just we on certain things we agreed or disagreed, but just oftentimes, it's for the most part it's a democracy in the band, and that's can work in the favor of getting things pushed, and also it can slow things down if everybody.
Sometimes too many cooks, huh?
Exactly. Too many people have an opinion. So I think I'm just always conscious. It's like, unless I'm really passionate one way or the other, I kind of just, yes, no, looks great. And
I got no dog in this fight. Whatever you want to do.
Exactly. So it's a few times, like some of the art when it was like this or that, I put in an opinion, but for the most part, it was like, sounds great. Trust you guys. Go for it.
And how is it done? How has it been received? Have you gotten press from it?
Yeah, it's coming up at the end, but we got nominated for in Europe. We got nominated for best vinyl artwork
Packaging
competition. I don't expect us to win that because the way that was voted upon was by you sharing an article and people going there and clicking on it, and I don't think that we've put much effort into that. So yeah, but that's even getting nominated is really cool. But generally with our fans over here, I think everybody saw it took a lot of effort from people involved to get this thing developed. Like writing rules to a game and then really spending a lot of time doing this. I think
it isn't going in and recording your 10, 12 songs.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of effort was put in it. I think people generally, the game is fun. People like it. I think it's like, again, you can't, whether or not you're a fan of the band or of the game, you can't deny that there is some ingenuity and
great angle. It's such a great angle.
Yeah, it's a cool thing that with not too much having to do with the development of it, I'm excited to be a part of it.
If you like what you heard, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at allthatjampod or online at www.allthatjampod.com. If you listen on Apple, remember, leave us a 5-star review. If you're on Spotify, follow, or wherever you get your podcast. And remember, Stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.